We wanted to kick the show off with the statistic. They say that 80% of the population gives up on their goal by January 17th. That was yesterday. So for those who have fallen off, we want to invite you to jump back in to own your goals. And we're going to give you some tips today to do so. And if you didn't know, Larisa was a guest on our Own It Show podcast. And you can check out that full episode where we have an incredible conversation all on how to own your abundance in your life. And today we're going to give you a key tip to help you kick off the year. So Larisa, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be back here. And thank you, Heather. I know last time we said we could talk for days and weeks and years. We always have such wonderful things that we talk about. So I am a master results coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we help high achieving women who know they're born and destined for more, stop holding themselves back and achieve a life and business that they want and love, have that rich and fulfilling life they deserve and desire. And I, just like you, right? You help women own it. We help women really unleash their abundance within. And that's what we do. That's what we do.
I love it. So are you guys ready to unleash your abundance from within with our tips today? I hope so. So let's dive in. You gave us a great quote on the show. What was it?
I think the quote says it all. I almost want to just say the quote and we'll say goodbye, but we'll talk a little bit about it. But we're talking about procrastination, right? Most people have given up on their goals, and out of sight, out of mind. Maybe you set goals that weren't as meaningful as you wanted them to be. Maybe you just set them right willy-nilly. However, it's not too late to get back on the wagon. And I think one of the things that we tend to do is we put things off that we don't know how to do. And that's probably why most people have fallen off their New Year's resolutions, because they just didn't know how to maintain them. The quote that I shared when we were talking is something that I wrote about in my book. It's something that I share with my clients. It's something that I am so passionate about, because when I heard it, I literally almost fell off my chair. And it is: procrastination is suicide of your dreams on the installment plan. When you put something off that you can do in 2 minutes, it's almost like you add a brick to your backpack. You're wearing like a big backpack, but then you put another thing off, and it might be a teeny tiny thing. It's like adding another brick, another tiny thing. And it's like adding these bricks, and all of a sudden you're just being weighed down, and it just happens, and it happens slowly, and you don't really notice it happening. However, when you truly live a life of abundance, when you are in action mode, your energy is clean. I always think of it like the Autobahn. Okay. Like, those cars are moving fast. They don't have like Toronto traffic construction on there. Right? This is like an efficient moving highway. And that's how, when you're living a life of abundance, you can be getting so much done in a calm and confident manner. You are truly expressing your gifts. You are living your life from the inside out and really expressing yourself the way you want to and the way you choose to, because you're a deliberate creator of your own reality. And that doesn't happen when you're putting things off. So when you're procrastinating, you're essentially rejecting abundance. And I'm sure we've all been there and done that. However, the cool thing about that is you don't have to keep doing it. You can reset anytime. You can reset any time of your year. You can reset any time of the day. You can reset any time of the week. All you have to do is just make a decision and say, stop, talk to the hand. I'm done this. I'm done. And I'm going to make a better choice right now.
Love it. So procrastination equals putting your future off. So if we're deliberate creators, then that means we're also usually deliberately putting things off. And often we're doing it unconsciously, whether it's something we don't know or the thing that scares us. And often the thing we're putting off is the thing, the quote is, the thing that we're avoiding is where the most growth lies. And if you haven't read the book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, highly recommend it. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to count back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just get into inspired action. I love and lead the field. He says, pick 6 ideas for your business that will improve your service and get those done tomorrow. And so I have a great agenda. And on this agenda, there's a list of 6 things every day. And if I get these 6 things done, it moves me forward. And they come from what I call my integrity list. So I have an integrity list, a running to-do list, and from there, I create a priority list every single day. And the priority list keeps me out of procrastination. And then my fourth year university, third year, my grandfather taught me this great tip. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. Because sometimes they're just little things. And now you have this backpack full of the little things that is taking up all this mental real estate, just weighing you down. And so if it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. And if not, then it goes on to the integrity list where you're going to get it done. And then you don't feel guilty about it because you know you have a daily priority list with space in your calendar, which I call my deliverables. So where in that hour every day, I get to do those 6 things. And so it's not even about just the idea of like, okay, I'm going to get it done. Reverse engineer to create the containers in your life where you have the space to get the things done. And I just finished a great client call and we were talking about writing our self-image scripts and how that is the one thing that most clients procrastinate on. And it was really great. She said, I wasn't sure if I would do it wrong or if I was doing it right or how to get started. And that's usually it. The hardest part is getting started. I go to hot yoga classes. They are so challenging. And the hardest part is getting my butt there. So I book myself in advance so that if I don't go, I'd have to pay. So I'm going. I hold myself accountable. So what can you do to help hold yourself accountable? What can you do to create the containers and the space in your calendar so that you actually get it done? And then how can you reverse engineer it to the simplest thing that gets you started? So maybe writing your self-image script first isn't the place to get started. It's going to YouTube and looking at other people's self-image scripts, or if you're in my program, going to our modules and listening to mine. And that gives you ideas. And now you can go and get started. Sometimes we have this big picture of that thing that we're procrastinating on, but it's actually 10 little things. And if we just got started on the first step, it gets the momentum going. So how do we get out of procrastination and get the momentum going? It's like a boulder, right? It's hard to get going. It's hard to get going. But once it's going, the momentum is there and it keeps flowing. So what is the simplest thing you could do that gets you started? Because if we are procrastinating, it's like telling ourselves that we don't think we're worthy of the things we're asking for. And the universe isn't going to deliver those to us because we have undone work left today. We haven't created the space for the new things to flow into. So we're going to give up procrastination by 1, accountability. 2, by creating the containers in our life to actually have that. 3, take it off the mental real estate and put it on an integrity list. And there are so many different tools. If you're a pen and paper kind of gal, go ahead, grab a pen and paper. My sister she's so tech savvy. She's got this like great app that literally takes that integrity list and it schedules it into your open spots in your calendars. There's so many different things, and we could ask Shelly about that later, what that tool was called, but there are so many different ways. But one of the things that, if there's anything I could say to get you off the procrastination bandwagon, why is it important? Yeah. Right? Like, what is the why? The emotion is going to be what drives you. Why is that important? Well, I'm going to do this because what I want is important to me. And I love myself and I know I'm worth that. And in order to have that, this has to get done. And so by choosing not to do this is choosing not to love myself. So I'm going to choose to love myself because I know I'm capable and worthy of that thing that I truly want. So really get connected to your why. Will get that procrastination bug out of the way. What do you think? What other things can get you out of the procrastination bandwagon?
Like you said, just get started, right? You've got to just get started with something. And sometimes when you're procrastinating on one thing, doing something different, right? If you're sitting at your desk and it's not working, get up and go do something different, because action will lead to momentum. Like any kind of action will get you out of a hump. And like, go do your dishes.
Yep.
And then come back, right? Change your minds, change how you're showing up. And that will at least get you a action-oriented momentum. Another thing is, I think that's really key, that's different what you were sharing, is really look at how you're feeling. Tune into the emotions. And when you were talking about your self-image script, we actually read our self-image scripts and rewrote them this morning in my client call. And so I love that you brought it up. It was the theme of my event this afternoon. Like, self-image is really, really big. It's such an important part of our health and well-being. I'm gonna say it's a health tool. It's not just an inspiration tool. This is like your identity. And so often people wear a badge of honor with procrastination. And it's kind of like, I'm a procrastinator. Oh, I'm so bad. Like they wear it as like an identity. And I think when you take that identity on as a procrastinator, I think sometimes even just the way you talk about it, it's like, oh, that didn't get done, instead of, oh, I'm a procrastinator. Cancel, 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 all that. Because if you take that identity on, then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't matter if it's one activity or another. It's just going to be this inevitable cycle that keeps continuing. So I think that's something that we often miss, right? Like, what is the identity you're taking on, and how are you talking about it? And also, how are you feeling when you're procrastinating? If you're not feeling good, start looking for a better feeling thought. Start looking for, perhaps use the element of curiosity to get you into a better feeling state, right? Curiosity is the gateway to a beautiful state. And if you can get curious about what you're putting off, maybe you'll actually be motivated to do it.
I love it. And I love to just get started with what's easiest. So there's the saying, the book, there's tons of things like eat the frog, do the hardest thing in the morning. And I do eat the frog in the morning, and not a real frog, by the way, like the task of the day, the one thing to get done first that creates the biggest result. And I heard somebody once say, that's very masculine energy. And sometimes it's really hard to do. So if you actually pick up the thing that's the easiest first, the thing that's going to get you the biggest win, the thing that's in the flow, the feminine divine, that's easy. So what's going to get you the biggest win, that's going to be the easiest to get the momentum going, then go eat the frog. Right? Absolutely. Yeah. Love it. I love it. And anything last tips? I know you've got so many great things and ways people can work with you. Where can they find you and learn more about you?
Yeah, they can learn more about me on LinkedIn. So Larisa Makush on LinkedIn. And I also have one of the other things I was going to just mention is you touched on it. It's like, if you don't have the space to be abundant, you won't be abundant. And one of the things that creates space is just being in quiet, being in a state of gratitude, being in a state where you allow things to work out for you, where you allow yourself to actually take action. You don't have to hustle. You can be in that feminine energy and in that flow. So I have the gratitude guide, and I would love to, I'll pass the link along to you, and that way you could share it with people, because I feel like that has made a world of difference to me. It's made a world of difference to everybody else. And the more we can get into that state of just being calm and being in an elevated state, the more powerful things we find we start to get done.
Absolutely. So let's elevate our mindset and our actions and our energy so we can own our abundance in our life. So if you want to learn more about Larisa, go ahead and check her out in the link in the description there, as well as go and make sure you check out our full episode on the Own It show. It's absolutely so filled with so many golden nuggets. You're going to love it, and may it increase the abundance in your life. So thank you so much for being on the show today, Larisa. Was there any last things you wanted to say?
You know what? Just go out, get started, and truly, truly allow yourself to live that rich and fulfilling life you deserve, that you desire, and that is yours for the taking, because we were born with with endless possibilities, right? Abundance is our birthright. It's not something we have to ask for. It's not something we have to fill out an application for. We are allowed to have it just because we are us. And so go out and let yourself live your best life.
Yes. Say yes to you, and may you live an abundant life, because abundance is your birthright. Thank you so much. Remember, everybody, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and what is the best that can happen?
Bye-bye.